Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, depending on your time zone. My name is Violet Hassan, and my channel is God Has Already Done It. You may wonder why I'm talking about what is this that God has already done. God has already given us everything that is required for us to live a healthy, happy life. Some of us are aware, some of us are not aware. Some of us know, but they don't use those things that God has given us, that they are very available and inexpensive. Some of us are ignorant, but for those who want to get to know all these, I can be able to give you some topics and some things that are around us that are going to help us and have helped us from time immemorial to heal us, to help us to live a happy life and to function properly, mentally, physically, spiritually. Today, I'm going to talk about the sun. Sun, S-U-N. It is very important for our lives, and it heals and protects and prevents very many diseases that people today are using medicine which is actually toxic to their bodies, that we really don't need to use medicine to heal ourselves. There are those many things the sun is able to help us to do very well. Number one, sun, those days we used to use the sun to dry clothes, beddings, things like pillows that you cannot be able to wash. If you don't have much or enough cash to be able to buy more pillows, or the ones that you don't want to discard yet, you can just use the sun. Sun drying those pillows can help a lot, because if you don't put them in the sun, clothes or pillows and mattresses and sometimes duvets and blankets that you don't wash every day or every time, they may have some molds or fungi. And as we know, fungi and molds, if we keep inhaling them, they bring about a lot of diseases, congestion, and also some types of cancers are brought about because of fungi and molds that are found in our homes or in our beddings or clothes. So it is very important to use the sun. The sun is a purifier to be able to prevent something like cancer and also respiratory diseases. Sometimes it could be something like asthma. You can prevent it by using the sun. Another thing that the sun can heal is things like jiggers, things like bed bugs, things like lice in our beddings. We used to do that many years ago, which people these days they overlook them, but it's very important. We have seen that in many parts of the world, they have been attacked by bed bugs. Some people in like my country, they have jiggers. It's because of not using the sun properly by opening the windows and doors and also hanging the clothes outside. That will be able to destroy the eggs of the jiggers and lice in beddings. Another thing that we used to use the sun for was drying seeds, cereals, and also things like fish, meat. We used to hang them in the sun, and they used to prevent a lot of diseases, because like today, things like fish, you find that they are fried in a lot of oils that are recycled like many times, and those oils usually they become toxic to the body. If you hang the fish or you put them outside in the sun, it reduces all that kind of a thing, and also it will reduce things like fungi if you left them if they're not dried well. Things like cereals, these days we see people having aflatoxins and all these kinds of diseases. It's because of not being dried in the sun properly. They dry until they kill all those molds from the foods. I used to see, like in my village where I was born, our parents used to, before you go to grind or take them to be used, any kind of cereal, we had to put them in the sun for several hours before they are used. And we never used to hear things of like aflatoxins that we hear these days. is because of those cereals were dried very well. When it comes to things like meats, these days we just burn meats everywhere, all over the place, and it creates also some tar and kind of things that will cause cancer. But if we dried meat in the sun, you find that we'll be able to eradicate all those kinds of diseases. It also, if you don't dry them well, they'll also cause cancer. Meat, especially if roasted and not roasted well, it will be able to cause some types of cancers in the body. And that is not all. I used to see my parents those years also. They used to wash like newborn babies or small children. They wash them and go sit with them in the sun. And the sun is not all the time. The sun is okay. You can only go to the sun morning hours and late evening hours. Could see in the morning they wash the babies, then they massage them with oil. After bathing them, then they stay there for a while, like 20 minutes or so. Then when they take the baby to the house, the baby will be able to sleep very well, and the baby will be very strong because they have also received vitamin D, which makes the bones strong. Another thing that I'll talk about the sun is about the production of vitamin D in our bodies. You cannot get enough vitamin D by using supplements alone. Most of the time, you can use both, or you can use the sun, which is readily available. Most people are saying that they don't have money to be able to get these products. They go to buy supplements that are very expensive, yet the sun is very readily available. Like in my country where I live, that's why I'm only giving examples of what I know and where I live and what I see happening. And I believe it's happening like in many, many countries also. People don't go out to the sun at all. And most of us are deficiency in vitamin D, because someone will leave the house very early in the morning, like 6 a.m. They enter the car, they go into their offices, park in the basement or around the building, they enter the office, they leave in the evening, they never see the sun. This person will start getting sick. Then there's some of us, like most of us Christians, will go for prayers. God has already given us what we need for this kind of healing, but we are still asking God. He has already given us. It's only that we are ignorant, or sometimes we are like now with this media, people have been told to fear the sun so much. Everyone is running away from the sun. The sun is not bad at all if you go at the right time and for the time needed. It will give you all sufficient things that you require for your body and for your health. Also, I'll talk about mental health. And you'll wonder, how does the sun cause mental health? Sun will cause mental health such as depression, anxiety, and sometimes, at times, even fear. I have a niece of mine who lives in the US. She always tells me that she loves to come to our country. My country is Kenya, depending on where the city where she lives in the US. She says that they see the sun for very few hours, and many people really get depressed because of that kind of the behavior of the sun. So she loves Kenya because in Kenya, most of the time we have the sun. So if you don't see the sun most of the time, that darkness also is, you are not able, your mind and your body is not able to reset its time properly. And I'm also encouraging people who live in this country that even if you work in the office, please find some time to go to the sun. Go get the sun so that you can be able to reset your mind, your internal clock. It will also be able to help you with that vitamin D, to work with a lot of vitamins in the body to be able to, your body to be able to function properly. The sun also can be used to open our pores in the skin so that most of these skin disorders can also go away if you go to the sun. If you avoid the sun at all times, your pores in the skin will not be able to open up, they'll clog, therefore you start having some skin disorders. I can also go down to say things like bone strength, which comes actually from vitamin D. And also sunbathing. Sunbathing, it was used many years ago by our ancestors, even the children, as I had spoken earlier. Sunbathing, it will be able to wash us internally. Sun is just like water, but it will wash us inside, not outside. Outside we use water, but internally the sun will be able to wash us. That is that is called sunbathing. And sunbathing, you can, if you're not in a private, if you can afford a private place, you can remove the upper clothes and use just scanty clothes so that you can be able to absorb the sun in your body. But if you don't have any privacy, you may use white cotton clothes and sit in the sun like 20-30 minutes. When you start sweating, the body is telling you it is enough. You have to get out of the sun. Another thing that the sun also can help us is with vision. These days we wear sunglasses every time. We are afraid that the sun is going to destroy our eyes. That is a lie. It's very important for our eyes too, just like it is important in every other thing. You can only wear sunglasses maybe from around 11 noon if the sun is at its peak. But in the early hours, you can just work without sunglasses so that you can improve your vision. You can also do sun gazing in the morning and also sun gazing late in the evening to be able to help your vision. So those are the things that I'm trying to tell most of us, because I am a Christian, and most of us Christians will go even pray for our eyes to be healed. The pastors will pray the whole day. They'll pray every time. Will not get healed because we're not using the things that God has given us that are very readily available. If we don't do what we are supposed to do, then we cannot be able to maximize our lives in every way. Prayers work only if you are also doing your part. The Bible tells us that faith without works is dead. So God has put the sun out there so that we can use it for our own benefit. But we'll go back again to ask Him to help us. He has already given us a lot of things that I had listed down, and I'll be telling you one by one. For those who already know, let us continue using those things that are available. For those who are not aware, let us also learn from here, and let us practice these things. And not just one day. It has to be a daily routine. When the sun is there, you have to go out there. Don't use it for 1 day, 2 days, 1 week, and you say it's not working. Everything is a process. It's not a 1 day thing. And also, for you to lose vision or to start having these problems in your body, it means it has also taken a long time, months and months and months and days, sometimes years. That is why the body has started talking to you that we need this to be able to function properly. Also, people are talking about some hormones in the body that they are decreased. Sun is able to help us to produce these hormones naturally if we go to the sun. Hormones like testosterone, estrogen, progesterone, all these hormones are produced if you go to the sun, instead of going to get supplements. If you don't know, these supplements are usually very expensive. And when you tell people, they'll tell you that I don't have money to buy these supplements to be able to have these hormones balanced in the body or having enough hormones. The sun is out there. Go to the sun. The sun is able to balance a lot of hormones in our bodies. If we only can use it properly at the right time and in right measure, we'll be able to get healing. And I'm not saying that prayers don't work. Prayers work. But if we are not doing our part, then we'll not be able to get the results that we require. My dear friends, let us not be too lazy, waiting for God to bring everything where we are seated. Things are available out here that are able to help us to get healed. Don't just sit there. Do something. If you want to get better, live a better life, a happy life. Something else that I'll talk about the sun, I think the last one is about decreasing of, it can decrease the heart diseases also. Even all functions of our own, all internal organs, like the liver, like the spleen, like kidneys, heart, all these things, they require sun. So my dear friends, let us not only rely on prayers. Prayers are very important if we are doing the right thing. Thank you so much. I think we'll meet next time when I'll be talking about another topic, and I'll be able to also help you that this topic that I'm going to talk about is something that also is readily available. We can all afford it. So don't wait for things that comes from maybe production of companies, from supermarkets or wherever. These things are available. Let us use these things that God has given us, and we'll be able to live a good life.